I want to welcome all of you this morning to our tribute to Sue Hodder. Many of you know her just as Suzanne Holmes Hodder because at every Ligiers performance, we thank the family for the generous gift that they gave in Sue's memory. But today, we're going deeper, girls. We are going to hear the real stories about our darling Sue. So, because it's the myths and the legend, I decided to write about the legend, and I'll begin. We'll share a laugh, shed a tear, and tell a tale or two as we go down memory lane with stories of dear Sue. She challenged me and pushed me. Such was the way of Nebraska Sue. And I bet for many here today, she expected the best from you. She adored Ligiers and Junior League, her loyalty forever true, faithful and loving, proud and strong, would describe our own sweet Sue. She loved her country, raised the red, white, and blue, a patriot above all else, describes our zealous Sue. You've heard of Sue's roles and the effort she put forth. Some of us were invited to bake at her cabin way up north. Sue formed clubs and gathered gals. It was her lifelong skill. Afterward, she would head back home to share stories with her Bill. Linda Sleeper was starting to date, and Sue wanted the whole story. She quickly formed the Naughty Girls. Linda's capers were Sue's glory. I was asked to join this club, and I quickly answered yes. The wild and crazy things we heard, I simply won't confess. The Purple Hotel trip. Perhaps you traveled there too. I was privileged to room with Barbie and Sue. On Mondays, she talked a lot. She loved all the hubbub. Norma scolded, so Sue went to work, forming the Blue Tape Club. Proud to be a lifelong member. One of Sue's traits, besides loving to sing, personalized mirrors became Ligiers' favorite things. And so I will share today all the lovely, lovely gifts, the mirrors, and things that were so important to all of us over the years. Christmas cards, sayings, quotes, lovely memories. A faithful Ligier, she was true to the end. It was far too early to say goodbye to our friend. The legend and the myths. This is long overdue. Please raise your coffee cup to the greatest, our Sue.
Hello, and welcome all past, present, and future Ligiers. In the 10 years I've been a Ligier, we have honored Suzanne Holmes Hodder at every performance. We have been privileged to have a yearly symposium provided and supported by the Suzanne Holmes Hodder funding. There have been many stories of Sue's antics, both funny and kind. But who really was Sue Hodder? Thanks to our storytellers, today we will reflect on, have a few giggles, and grow a new appreciation of Suzanne Holmes Hodder, the legend and the myths. Enjoy.
Sue Hodder was a dear and loyal friend to many. We became friends in the junior league long before becoming singing sisters in Leaguers. Sue had a song in her heart from the very beginning and for many, many reasons. And she had a love for patriotic songs that she could hardly hold back a tear. Her love of country was so dear to her. She loved the many aspects and benefits of Leaguers, as we all do. She was a tap dancer and a banjo player. She was a dynamic leader, cheerleader, educator, and filled with creative ideas of how to make a difference. And she never held back an opinion, even during rehearsal. She was a visionary when planning events, and she shared her talents while creating and decorating probably every event and every table in town for every single benefit. We volunteered together in the early days with the Children's Cancer Research Fund, where her supportive and creative energy and resourcefulness helped to organize this grassroots organization 40 years ago. I was on the committee with Sue when she began a project within the Children's Cancer Research Fund, where the children at the University of Minnesota were now able to celebrate Flag Day with an appreciation because of her love of country and her patriotic spirit. The Leaguers sang and entertained at this inaugural event, and the children enjoyed having some fun and having activities with their families. Sue loved a party and created many wonderful themes. She even had a special room built for her crafts, ribbons, and bows. She loved to entertain and open up her heart for many, many occasions. And we were Kappa Alpha Theta sorority sisters, and every holiday she would gather in her home all the Thetas that she could connect with in the Twin Cities. She had an unbelievable network of friends and had time for every single one. A favorite memory with Sue was when she invited a few Leaguers to her cabin to learn how to make her famous bread. The video, Let the Flower Fly, had just been released, and we were the lucky ones to see Sue in action. The time at the cabin was filled with music, laughter, and lots of good food. It was apparent that Sue's kitchen was the heart of her home, and she shared her love of her cabin, her love of lake life and nature and the outdoors, and purely the love of dear, dear friends. The flags and the flower and the fun flowed every day, but especially on Flag Day. Sue was a mentor to many, and we all loved Sue's generous and heartfelt spirit. She will always be remembered in our hearts, and her legacy will be carried on, thanks to her very generous family, and thanks to the Spirit Fund, and thanks to all of you.
Well, my memories of Sue Hodder are just great. What a amazing woman, our own Martha Stewart. A few things, definitely, she impacted my life. She had a red video, and anyway, I got so interested in it, and she had several of us up to the cabin to teach us how to actually make the rolls. And I make the yeast rolls, and in fact, I've made them ever since, and even my grandchildren make them now. So we call them the Sue Hodder rolls. But the fun memories of that time at the cabin, learning it, was great. She also would do things that I taught my own grandchildren. She and Bill had a party one time. I think it was their anniversary party. And when we got there to the site, it was a wonderful place, and she had done all the tables, and it was so beautiful. She said that there would be a prize for the first person who had RSVP'd, which happened to be me. And she gave me this beautiful gift of all these angels, and it was Christmas time, about when their anniversary was, I think. And anyway, that was Sue. She wanted to always teach good things like that, and I told my children and grandchildren about that, and we still have it. Another thing she did was one time I invited her for lunch, and it was on my porch, and I was excited because I just moved into a house with a porch, and she came and she brought me a wooden knife that she had used a wood burning tool to write on it, "the porch." So the things that Sue did and the memories that she gave me were just unique, and I'm sure everyone has their own wonderful Sue Hodder stories, but that's just how she was. She was just great, and I miss her. And our little mirrors, everyone I'm sure has that. As my grandchildren would grow, I'd get a mirror at Christmas time. I still have all those mirrors in different purses.
Suzanne Holmes Hodder, June 14, 1932 to July 5, 2011. Hi, I'm Ruth Nowak. For 6 years, it's been my honor to play keyboard for Flag Day on or around June 14th each year. Children's Cancer Research Fund, CCRF, was a beneficiary of Suzanne's Memorial Fund. University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital, where Suzanne has a pediatric research chair, is the site of Flag Day celebration. Hodder family and CCRF want to honor Suzanne, pediatric patients, parents, staff, volunteers, and thank Jenny File, not pictured here, who organized Flag Day and supplied the pictures I used in this video. Yes, thanks for Kemp's Ice Cream and all the dinners over the years from Craig, Chick-fil-A, Olive Garden, and Biotech for serving the meals. Besides eating, there's so much to do at Flag Day: coloring, face painting, treat bags, and don't forget button making. Kids love to make their own buttons and take them home.
Hi everyone, it's Jeans. I'm down in glorious Florida, taking some vacation time and warmth, and I wanted to tell you a story about Sue Hodder. She was such a special lady, and of course I always remember when she put duct tape on her mouth and a smile. But more importantly, what I remember about her was when I became a citizen of the United States, and unbeknownst to me, she arranged to have the flag flown over the Capitol and donated it to me in a very special box, framed glass box, saying, with a certificate saying that it had been flown in my honor for me. What an amazing treat that was, and totally unexpected. Sue was very patriotic, and sure miss her, and so grateful to the Hodder family for their gift of the Suzanne Holmes Hodder Legacy Fund. And it's been amazing to be a part of all that. So thanks everybody.
I'm a Yankee Doodle dandy. That describes our Sue Hodder. Always a patriot and always alive and happy. We miss her so much. Our trip to Chicago was so interesting when we went to the Purple Hotel, because all the other hotels were booked to the Boy Scouts. We thought this would be fun. Nancy Lindahl, Sue Hodder, and Barbie were going to room together. We arrived at the Purple Hotel, which was a soon-to-be torn down hotel of prostitution and drug selling. And outside of each room was a chair for a John to sit in when he was waiting for his girl. The shower even had little holes in it and cracks, so the John probably could sit out in the hall and watch what was going on in the room. That's where we stayed, and that's where we discovered another unspoiled Sue Hodder who could take care of everything in her stride. We put towels on our pillows, we wore shoes when we walked on the floor. I think Nancy took a shower. I'm not sure if the rest of us did. And we laughed and we giggled, and then we went to sleep. So the next morning, 3 of the girls in their uniform went down to Starbucks, ran into the mayor's wife, who said, "Why are you here? Who are you?" Blah, blah, blah. The description that we were staying at the Purple Hotel, she said, "Get out of there immediately." They ran back, told us all we had to pack the bus. Even people that were in bed because they had migraines had to be told to get up and get out, and we moved on quickly to get away from there. We will never know what would have transpired there, but it didn't, and since then it's been torn down. And as far as funny Sue stories, my mind has forgotten them. I think I'm going to need Linda Stahl to report them, or Nancy Lindahl. So anyway, I love you all. You would have loved Sue Hodder. She was the best. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. This is Judy Earnshaw speaking. We are in the middle of a move, and I simply could not get myself together to look good for this video. So here I am, and I will continue. This is in memory of dear Sue Hodder and the day that she honored me after receiving my citizenship. It was October of 1998, and I didn't even realize that Liguerres knew that I was getting my naturalization papers the Friday before. I arrived at rehearsal and was about to walk into our practice room when someone said, "Please come with me." And off they took me to a change room and swaddled me up and dressed me up like the statue Miss Liberty. Then they marched me into the practice room to the tune of Pomp and Circumstance, at which point dear Sue Hodder read a letter that had been written by our Minnesota senator to me, welcoming me as a new citizen and telling me that a flag had been flown over the Capitol in my honor. She then presented me with this flag. Then the ceremony continued with the rest of my outfit, and I was asked questions about the ceremony and how it went and so forth. Then, when we had our break during practice, there was an incredible celebration continued where dear Jane Nelson made a beautiful, beautiful cake that looked just like the American flag. It was such an exciting time for me and my dear Liguerres sisters, and especially dear Sue, made it even more incredible.
Sue Hodder, the myth, and what a legend and what a legacy. One of the most inspirational women I think I have ever met. Her inspiration, her strength, her passion, and also her wonderful humility. Every time she would meet someone new, I remember when I first came to Liguerres, she was so welcoming. But one of my most favorite memories is one Monday morning, my parents came to visit. And Liguerres, being the wonderful group that it is, wanted to meet my parents and chat with them. And of course, there wasn't enough time. So from nowhere, wonderful Sue says, "I know, I'll have a gathering at my house and we can all get together and we can all chat with Helen's parents." How fantastic was that? And the most amazing thing now is that when I talk to my parents in England, they remember Sue. Sue, truly, there's no myth about Sue. Everything you hear about Sue is true and probably then some. She truly is a legend. And one of the most grateful gifts from Liguerres, I think for me, is to have met and to have sung and danced and been in fellowship in music with Sue Hodder.
When I joined Liguerres in 1990, I was positioned in the back row between Sue Hodder and Dawn Seaman, and it was a gift to be positioned between these wonderful ladies. I got to know Sue as a friend as well as a back row buddy. And my favorite story about her is when we went to Washington, D.C., when the Liguerres sang at the White House and at the State Department in the mid-1990s. I was chair that year. And Sue confided to me that she had made some special arrangements for the group when we arrived. Sue had made a reservation at the hotel for herself, a suite, so it would be a room large enough for all the women to meet in, to warm up and have cocktails and just have girl time together. But the most special thing was the day that we sang at the White House. Sue had arranged to have the United States flag flown over the Capitol and changed 34 times that day. So the 34 women, Liguerres, who were in the group would be acknowledged and have a souvenir to take home of our experience. What a gift from our patriotic Sue.
Hi, I'm Marcia Hillested-Seguin, and I'm here to help with a tribute to Sue Hodder today. Sue Hodder joined the Liguerres just 1 year before I did, so we sang and danced together for quite a number of years. I want to share a picture of Sue, and it might glare a little bit. This is up at Cove Point Lodge when we were up to troop at the Minnesota Veterans Home. You can see she's got a flag on her sleeve. The Veterans Home was really special to Sue. She loved vets, and we had a great time whenever we would sing there. Well, my favorite memory of her is in 1996. It was our very first year going up to the lodge. And we would stay at Cove Point Lodge, and we would sing at the Vets Home and a couple of places in Two Harbors as well. But the night before, we would always have a time when we would share songs and skits. And that year, Sue had a great idea. She wanted to perform the song A Boy Named Sue by Johnny Cash. And so she got together with her friends Judy Reichert and Patty Strong, and they did a rendition of A Boy Named Sue together. It was very, very entertaining. You can see how serious Sue looks on that picture. Anyway, when they got to the end of the song, Sue really wanted to prove that she was the boy named Sue. So as they finished up singing, she pulled out the tail of her shirt out of her fly of her jeans and made a very good impression of a boy named Sue. We all absolutely cracked up. Look at how solemn her face is. She kept a straight face through the whole thing. It was hilarious. But that just goes to show you the great sense of humor that Sue had, and it's my favorite memory of her. I'm going to just close this with another favorite picture of her from up north, and it's beautiful. This just shows Sue's beautiful smile and happy demeanor. Thanks.
My connection with the Hodder family goes back 30 years, when I was employed at Donaldson Company. In the finance department, I got to know Bill Hodder professionally, and I got a glimpse of Sue's influence and sense of humor. Sue mentored me when our husbands worked together, and she taught me a lot about planning and hosting business events and bringing people together. She helped me to get connected with neighbors up north around Pelican Lake, where we both had cabins. She made sure to include my children and my extended family in social events, which we all looked forward to, especially her annual 4th of July party. 14 years ago, Sue decided it would be good for me to sing in Liguerres, and she was very persistent. She would not leave me alone until I agreed to audition, and it turned out to be one of the best things I've ever done. We had so much fun carpooling and singing together and planning parties, and she, along with her daughter Susan, hosted many social events for the single gals in Liguerres. She was kind and sweet and always full of fun and laughter. Her smile lit up a room the moment she walked in. Her patriotism and love of family and friends was contagious. She was a dear friend to me and was always at my side during the ups and downs in my life. She had a heart of gold, and I could always count on her. During difficult times, she encouraged me to take the high road and go do something for somebody else. To this day, when I am faced with a challenging situation, I hear Sue's voice in my head saying, "Take the high road."
Sue Hodder, one extraordinary League Heir. Oh, how I loved her strength, her spirit, and her sparkle. Sue showed up, stepped up, listened up, mixed it up, shook it up, and lived it up. She was truly unstoppable. Sue Hodder's signature was patriotism. Sue loved the United States of America. July 4th, red, white, and blue, anything. Even her cabin up north was adorned with Americana, quilts and blankets, pillows, hand towels, and cocktail napkins. She also loved our national anthem, John Philip Sousa, the Armed Forces Medley, and our flag, the Stars and Stripes Forever. One of Sue's most memorable patriotic crusades was with the school children in several schools where League Heirs performed. Sue took it upon herself to reach out to every single principal of these schools, noting the date and time League Heirs would be performing, and asked if the teachers would be willing to teach the students the Pledge of Allegiance before our arrival. If the students succeeded in reciting the pledge to Sue when League Heirs arrived, she would give them a very special award, an America the Beautiful bracelet. The teachers and the kids were so excited about this project, and yes, indeed, several of them actually learned the Pledge of Allegiance. So, mission accomplished. This is just one of several examples of Sue's remarkable, unwavering patriotism and commitment to her country. What a gal. Love you, Sue.
Hello, everyone. I'm Diana Hedgebeck. I'm a former League Heir. I was a League Heir in the 70s, so it's quite a while ago. I've been a friend of Sue Hodder's for many, many years. I first met her 59 years ago when I was in the Theta House, Kappa Alpha Theta, at the University of Minnesota, and she was an alumni advisor. So she was at our meetings most of the time, and we got to be acquainted and friendly. And then in my senior year, she likes to remember this story, and it's typical Sue. In my senior year, I didn't turn 21 like my friends did. I was early for young for my grade. So I went out to a fraternity party one night and with my senior friends, and you had to be 21 to have a curfew, and I had a curfew of midnight because I wasn't 21, but all my friends had no curfew. So I went to a fraternity party with all of them, and we came in at 2 in the morning, and they snuck me in through a bedroom window upstairs. After that, the advisory board, which Sue Hodder was a member of, the alumni advisory board at the house, called me in for a meeting with the advisory board because I had been delinquent and snuck in a window and had to be grounded for a certain amount of time. I can't remember how long. But the bottom line on this story is that forevermore, and up until recent years, up until right before she died, whenever we were among other friends of ours or people in general that we didn't even know, she would say, "This girl was a very naughty girl in college. She was naughty." And Sue, with her personality, would carry on about it. Just something that she alone would do. My next sorority story, and the only other one, is that same year, my senior year, we were passing the candle. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with that, for a girl that was going to be engaged, we would pass the candle around a circle of all of us in the dark after dinner, and the one who was engaged would blow out the candle, and that was me. And so I blew out the candle. It was my engagement to Norm, and Sue was the advisor attending that particular ceremony. So she was very pregnant with her son, Kent. And so we've always had this special bond about my engagement and bringing Norm into our circle of friendship, hers and mine at that time, and also welcoming Kent, one of her I think he might have been her fourth child. So Kent and I have a special relationship. So those were my early days with Sue. After that, she and I were both members of the Minneapolis Theta alumni group, and we worked many events together and other things that our group was involved in. And we were also members of the Junior League. And again, we paired up. Sue was 10 years older than I was, so she was my leader. And she would bring me in and say, "You've just got to do this, you've got to do that," and so forth and so on. And it was all very fun. The one most memorable Junior League event that I recall is the 50th anniversary of the Junior League. It was called Meet Me at the Marigold, and it was an old-fashioned theme, and we had a wonderful time doing that. There were many other things in the community that we did together, and we were just sort of a team after that. So fast forwarding to 1978, when my daughter Katie was diagnosed with leukemia at 11 and a half. She was being treated at the University of Minnesota for 18 months, and she did not win the battle. She died in December of 1979. Sue went through all of that with me, and a year later, I was planning a benefit event with many of my friends, including Sue, to raise money for the University of Minnesota Children's Cancer Research Fund. So Sue was on my first committee. She was dynamite. She was so creative, so energetic, so fun, always smiling, joking, very friendly. She was one in a million when you look at women amongst our own lives, so to speak. She was one in a million. And the final gift from Sue to me and to Norm and me was the most memorable, probably, but maybe not, because friendships and stories of friendship are equally as memorable. But she and her husband Bill invited Norm and me to their house. This is when she knew she was going to die, and they wanted to visit with us, and we got over there and talked a lot about what was going on with her. And then she said to us, she said, "What would you think if I decided to have the Children's Cancer Research Fund as my memorial fund?" And we were so touched and moved and tearful, and as you can imagine, it was just a very special, moving moment. Of course, we were thrilled. After she died, her family, let's say, after she died, her family gave a very, very generous memorial donation to Sue, and endowed a chair at the University of Minnesota in Sue's name, and it's called the Susan Holmes Hodder Chair in Pediatric Cancer for the Children's Cancer Research Fund. This memorial has been celebrated for the past 10 years that she's been gone. The research that it's brought on has been very exciting and meaningful. And it was her final gift to be remembered in such a way that not only would we not forget Sue because of how we knew her, but now there's something going on in her memory that will go on forever and make a huge difference in our world. So that's my story of my friendship with Sue. We were intimate friends. We shared much of our journey in life together, from young mothers to our elderly years, so to speak. So I'm happy to be a part of this, and I probably have a story that none of the rest of you will be telling, so I'm glad to bring up the very old days and my memories. Thank you.